It's really an amazing feeling for me to welcome Tim to the Hall of Fame. I hope I'm not there for a very long time, Tim, but congratulations. You're an amazing person. I've always said if I had one night to live, I would spend it with Tim Cass because he is one of the funnier guys I've ever met in my life. Congrats, Tim.
I was wondering what our record was, and I'll trade those 16 wins for one national title if I could. I've had the good fortune of being here all week. I was asked to fill in for somebody on the NCAA tennis committee this year, and I've been removed from college tennis for about 5 years as an administrator, and so it's been wonderful being back around college tennis, and I was able to choose the matches that I was, quote unquote, supposed to oversee for the NCAA tennis committee, and I purposely chose every one of USC's matches. And Peter is a true friend, somebody that we came up together in the business, and watching his team compete, I didn't know any of his players. I'm that removed now. Watching his team go through the tournament was remarkable. I was a spotter for ESPN yesterday, trying to give them updates on Court 4, and Peter was on Courts 4, 5, and 6, and so I watched him in action all week and learned a lot from him. He does an incredible job with the players. I was way too intense as a coach. He's got a knack of getting the most out of his players. He allows them to relax, allows them to play the big points with incredible poise. But yesterday, it was just special for me. I was more nervous, I think, watching him win his third national championship than he was, and it's an honor for me to have my good friend Peter do this for me tonight. I really appreciate it. Jim, thanks for the kudos on my lone victory. I can assure you I lost 10 other times to you, but thank you for recognizing the one victory over you. I appreciate it. And Jonathan, as an administrator now, and I did a little fundraising as a coach, and Jonathan's good friends with my brother-in-law, but if you have a fourth child, you can expect a New Mexico sweatshirt and then a fundraising note soon thereafter from New Mexico. Marcel, wonderful to see you. Our good friend Scott Tribley, I wouldn't be here either if Scott didn't do this for us. An incredible person, a passion for life, somebody that played for me, coached with me, and is truly one of my best friends in life, and I'm so wonderful to spend this evening with you. Scott Davis, Scott beat me 4 or 5 times. For me to sit here and listen to the accolades of these wonderful players was just so humbling to be in the same group. Obviously, I'm here for what I tried to do in coaching. I had a wonderful career, incredible memories that I take with me for a lifetime, and that's what meant the most to me about being a college coach. I wish Coach McGill was here. He was somebody that I looked up to. I started coaching at age 23, and every time I'd go to the University of Georgia, I would steal every pamphlet, every flyer. I'd take pictures of everything he had done around the facility, and I would take it back and try to implement that at either the University of New Mexico or Texas A&M. He was just a tremendous person, ambassador for the game of tennis, and what he's done for college tennis is nothing short of remarkable. David Benjamin and the ITA, what they have done, it's been said over and over tonight, it is remarkable as well. I've sat on many committees with David over the years and the ITA, and I am so pleased with the direction that college tennis is going. I sat in the operating committee, or I think one of the meetings, all coaches meeting yesterday, and the partnership with the USTA is something that is exciting. It's where we should be going. We're crossing paths in so many areas of the sport of tennis, and I'm so excited that USTA is a part of that vision, and David has led that for so many years, and we're so fortunate to have him lead our organization. Coach Gould, Stanford University, the staff, this has been an incredible championship. I've been to many of them over the years as a player and coach, and yesterday's matches were outstanding, fabulous. One personal story on Coach Gould, if I could, is I was in about my 6th or 7th year at the University of New Mexico. I think he'll remember this story, and I think this speaks more so to him as a person than to all his accomplishments as a coach. But we were finishing an indoor facility at the University of New Mexico that we'd worked hard to fundraise and get up and going. And we'd had a very good team, I think finished in the top 15 the year before, and Coach had his usual #1 team that previous year, and it was at the end of the year. And you always did your schedule either at the NCAA tournament at that time or filled it in over the summer. And so I was looking for somebody to open up our new indoor facility, and who better to call to make a splash in our community and try to grow the sport of tennis than the #1 team in the country and the best coach in the country, Coach Gould. And so I called Coach to invite him to come play at the University of New Mexico to help us open up our new indoor facility. And I can tell you this, if I called the coaches number 2 through 25 and asked them to come play, their answer would have been a quick, no thank you. But I was smart enough, and I went to the best, and I said, Coach, really trying hard to grow the sport of tennis. I think he was watching at a few of the things we were trying to do. And I said, would you come play us and open up our new facility? He said, Tim, give me 24 hours, and I'll call you back and let you know. And he calls me back 24 hours. Anybody that's called Coach knows that he either answers the phone or he returns every call that same day. And that's something I've tried to do in my role now. And so he calls me back 24 hours later, and he says, we'll be there. I've got a real young team coming in. I lost a couple very good players. I got these Bryan boys coming in. I don't know if they're very good. And this will be a good atmosphere and a good time to break them into college tennis. And I will never forget that. The coaches that are in the room, I hope you'll remember that. I would love to see more of the premier programs go around the country and play others. And it's something I certainly tried to do when I had an opportunity to do it as a coach. And so, Coach, that story sticks in my mind even today. Thank you very much. My fellow inductees were here because of all their individual accomplishments. The reality is I'm here because I share it with so many of my players in my 18 years of coaching. I had great support from my administrations at both New Mexico and A&M. And I had so many people that invested their time and energy into our programs. And that's the real reason that I'm here tonight. I preached to my players the importance of family. We treated our family members as part of our teams over the years. That was something that I was really proud of. And I always made my players, when they called home, I always told them, and some of them are here tonight and I'll recognize them, but I always told them to make sure when you're done talking to mom and dad to tell them you love them. And that's something that was really, really important for me. My father passed away 3 or 4 years ago. Excuse me. I wish he was here. He was my greatest fan. My mom wasn't able to come because of her health. But they're very special in my life, impacted my life. And those of you in this room that know them know how important they were to me. I considered myself a decent recruiter. I did work hard at it. But clearly my best recruit was my wife, Laura, who's here with me tonight. She doesn't like when I tell this story. It's a light story. It's a humbling story. But it was early in our marriage, and we were coming off a very good year. I was at Texas A&M, and we were up to number 4 in the country. We had just won the Big 12 tournament, and we had won the regular season in the Big 12, and it was quite an accomplishment. We had beaten Texas for the first time in school history. We'd had a lot of special accomplishments that year, and I came home one evening, and Laura's coming running out to the driveway, and I'm pulling into the driveway, and she says, hurry up, come on in, you got a phone call, and she says it's Sports Illustrated on the phone. And so I'm really, really excited, and I'm thinking of all the things I'm going to tell Sports Illustrated and about the beating Texas, 4 in the country. We're we're leading the nation in attendance, and I can't wait to rattle off all these statistics to them. And I get into the phone and I pick it up, and on the other end they say, Mr. Cass. And I say, yeah, this is Mr. Cass. And he says, this is Sports Illustrated. For 99 cents an issue, you can have Sports Illustrated delivered to your door every week. There are a few people who traveled here from Texas A&M I want to thank for being a part of this evening. Nick and Fran McGuire are sitting at my table. Nick was on my search committee when I was hired at Texas A&M and have been like second parents to Laura and I. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Also at my table, Steve Miller, Homer Jacobs, and Todd Taylor all came from College Station. And those of you in the room that are coaches know that you don't do what you're trying to do in terms of the game of tennis, promoting tennis, without great support. All of them were on the staff at Texas A&M, are really, really true friends, and I really appreciate them being here tonight. Special surprise guests for me. Did not know that Sarah and Doug Brown and Wyeth Goodenough were going to be here. Sarah and Doug are from Albuquerque. Doug was a student athlete at Stanford University, was a teammate of Coach Gould's, was a regent at the University of New Mexico, and it's just fabulous. I'm very moved and touched that you're here. And Wyeth is somebody I recruited. He went to Northwestern, played for the great Paul Torricelli, and is living in San Francisco. And I know Paul invited him, and it means the world to me, Wyeth, that you're here this evening as well. Thank you very much. There's a few others I want to just single out quickly, and what I miss most about coaching are the relationships with people, and the people that have touched and influenced me in more ways than they will ever know. And a few of those that are here: Gene Carswell. Gene was my first recruit ever, and he's now the head coach at San Diego State. I'm very proud of Gene. Tad Berkowitz, one of the best players I ever coached. Some of you know Tad. I'm not sure he's here tonight, but he's the head coach now at the University of Arizona, and somebody that influenced my life greatly. Alan Dills, my longtime assistant. Alan played for me. Appreciate Alan. Bart Scott, our assistant, coming from the University of New Mexico and spending this evening with me. It means the world to me. I mentioned Scott Tribley. Steve Moore's here. I really appreciate Steve being here. He was a former assistant coach for me as well, and it means an awful lot. Thank you, Steve, and his beautiful new girlfriend, Chelsea. And then there are numerous coaches that touched my life: Jerry Simmons, Bobby Bayless, Jay Lapidus, David, obviously, Benjamin, Dick. So many over the years, and many of them are here and really influenced me as a person and as a coach. But there's four really that coming up through the ranks I really spent an awful lot of time with, that I leaned on constantly for advice, not only in the coaching world, but advice in life. And I really want to single out those four. They've had such an impact on my life, and I consider them true friends. My father told me, if you have 5 true friends in life, you'll be lucky. And he told me that when I was 17 years old, and I told him, I rattled off about 15 people that I thought were friends, and today I'd be lucky to rattle off 5 or 6 in my life, and he was very right when he said that. But Peter obviously introduced me. He's had a huge impact on my life. Peter Smith, I appreciate everything you've done. My good friend Michael Center, who's here and is a terrific coach. Vince Westbrook, who's done a fabulous job with the Tulsa tennis program, building it from ground zero to one of the premier programs in the country. And I don't know if my friend Tim Siegel's here, but Tim taught me so much about so many things, but in particular about how to be a husband, how to be a father, and how to also try to be a successful person in terms of the coaching world. So those 4 really, really impacted my life, and I wanted to single them out. And if I can conclude by just simply saying that college tennis, I've been involved with it for 23 years. I put my heart and soul into it, but I got much more in return than ever I could have put in. I'm humbled. I'm honored to be a part of this group and to share this evening with you. Thank you very much.